It's the new world. Everything is going on. Okay. Once again, it's all patterns. Patterns exist in the nature. So that's what we've been, when we are kid onwards, we've been watching these patterns. So that is natural intelligence. Natural intelligence. Even math, a lot of people think they're not good actually because it's, Puno, you're not good because not because you're not good, because you're not taught well. You're not taught well. So you didn't have, you're not exposed to see the patterns properly. It's the same with any subject. They're not difficult at all. It's not rocket science. Even rocket science is becoming easy now. They want to send data centers to the orbits. So, SpaceX launching rockets and bringing them back. So, everything, when it is documented properly, when proper building blocks are there, um, it's not difficult. Nazira, keep me honest. You trained a lot of people in SAP. Uh, Initially, they might feel difficult, but you help them, show them the steps and patterns. You made them easy, and they got jobs, and they are successful now. What's your experience, Nashara? Be honest.
That is true, sir. Yeah, initially, things seem to be little,
Hmm.
out of context, but once, yeah. So the people I trained, right, yeah, they all, doing great. Some of them actually moved to the senior positions also, like, VPs and, all that, right? So,
Oh, super. Then that's insurance for you. Your students are in very good positions. There's a crisis, we always have jobs. You know,
yeah.
that's also beauty in teaching. So, in any case, you'll not be will not be creating these models. These creating models will be done by some teams. They're highly paid. Some people are paid $1 million a year, $2 million a year. A lot of specialty is needed. But we'll be leveraging these models, and using developing applications, developing automations like Gen AI applications, Agentic AI applications. But anyway, your role is, I encourage you to be in data first, data engineer, a data architect, solution architect, like that. But you will be touching the Gen AI areas and agentic areas, or you will be working with Gen AI engineers and agentic AI engineers. So you should be comfortable. That is the goal. Manasa, is the goal is cleared? Subhashini, I'm not making you expert in Gen AI and agentic AI, but I'm giving you exposure so that you'll be comfortable working with them. Subhashini, Bhavana, Manasa, is the goal is clear?
Yes, Srini.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Nasira, is that right expectation?
Yeah, clear.
Yes. So that yesterday you said, Nasira, this knowledge helps over a period of time. Even we can dig into more. Maybe one day you feel like interest, and even you can get into this area. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Right? That's a goal. Super awesome. Again, yesterday I was, it's all patterns and data. One thing we are talking about this, I want to touch this again, even though it is simple. Punima, you don't need to be really good at math. This is a simple pattern. So, Manasa, what was this pattern you mentioned? 2, 4, 3, 6, 4, 8, 5, what?
Is
10, right?
getting multiplied by 2.
Correct. So in this case, these patterns can become complex. See here, this is the model, the Purnima. See, this is simple model, right? Y is equal to x. It means if you think this is y value, the model is 2x in this case. In this case, what is happening is this is running, and this is all good up to this. But here they ask, so this is the data you need to train your mind. This is where the patterns are. So the patterns are coded in this model. Okay, these patterns were multiplying 3 times and adding 2. This is how. So this is the model. Model means this, guys. Please understand. You'll be hearing the word Subhashini. Model means the formula. It could be. like a simple straight line, rather, a equation like this, or sometimes model can be a combination of these multiplications, additions. On top of it, it could be some decision tree, decision logic. Some are grouping logics, some logic related type, but it is captured in some formulas ultimately. When you say I have a meta model, it means they capture all that sauce. It's like a recipe. Subhashini, recipe also logic, right? Subhashini, you know how to make Colombo?
Yeah, yeah,
Nice,
Srini.
nice Colombo, right?
Yeah, I do.
So where did you learn the recipe? From in-laws or your mother? You know?
Yeah, from both of them.
Both of them, right?
Yeah.
Still you try to, you can't make better than them, correct? Because it, maybe you might do. Let me not get into controversies, but you have a recipe. Hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Like that. That is all captured that is what his model is all about. Now see, as this is only one variable, only changing, you are finding this. See, sometimes it will be like this. Please see. Manasa, I know you are good at math. Come on now. I have two variables. One is this. It means 1, 2, 20. 1 minus 2, 0. 2, 1, 18. 2 minus 1, how much? Think of it, guys. Guess. 1, 2, 20. 1 minus 2, 0. Just to quiz you. You don't have to know. So, but at least, hey, it's not easy to, right?
Yeah.
Even if you can find it, I'll add another variable, x3. 1, 2, 3, 30, something like that. So as the variables are increasing, don't you think for human beings it is difficult, but for machine can read it and understand, correct? Whatever the case, the Mansa, you there anywhere?
Yeah, I'm here and I'm just looking at it to
Hmm.
get the logic.
It's okay. You have 10 seconds. Okay. No, no
Yeah.
issue. But at least say, hey, it's not, we need to spend a lot of time. Is that fair statement? Okay. Let's move here. Look here. Let's see. See here, simple. Every time we are multiplying with 3, every time we are multiplying with 5, you're getting this. Okay, can someone check Mansa now? 3 times 1, 3. 5 times 2, 10. So 13 plus 7 is there. Please observe. There is always some bias. This is called B bias. So 20. Thumbs up, Manasa, if it matches. Punima, can you thumbs up for this second? 3 times 1, 3. 5 times minus 2, minus 10. Minus 10 plus 3 is, what is that? 7. Sorry, minus 7. Minus 7 plus 7 is 0. This is good. This is good. So that is where you got the last one also, if you compare to this. So, but it's not straightforward, right, Manasa? Agree? Manasa,
Yes,
yes
Srini.
or no?
It is. Yeah,
Now
it is
imagine
not
you
straight.
have, Nasira, Purnima, imagine you have x1, x2, x3, x4, like that. You have many variables. Don't you think it's difficult to find out? Yes, it is. So first of all, try to understand what is model means. Model is this. Model is this. So in the case of, you see, in the case of image recognition, right? You remember, you have 784 variables. Can you believe for human brain, eh, of course, human brain, it doesn't do equations. It knows it's cat. It's trained. Without even learning math, it got trained. But for machine, it is difficult actually. Human beings can be easily trained on identifying cats and this one, because our brain learns in it differently. It doesn't use math. It uses some neural networks, image recognition. But for the machine, it is difficult. Machine doing this type of math is easy for machine, but recognizing these objects, etc., humans can do better by just in 1 year quickly seeing it. But for the machine, it has to be trained with a lot of power. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it's difficult. It's not straightforward. But now they are trained much better. Even they can recognize the images even better than human beings, it seems. Especially the old photos of your friends, Nasira, your 10th class friends, everyone you may not recognize. But the machine can, in the Facebook, if someone posts they can recognize this guy is that guy, etc. So machine has more accuracy now because they do in pixel way. Any comments, Nisar, on that? You understood that point? The machine is
Yeah,
trained.
yeah, machine is better than human brain now.
But do you agree with me? With these variables, the model is becoming complex, correct? So that is where, but now everyone understood what is model. Model is some logic that captures based on many variables. Okay, so model is like a recipe is a sauce. So model has intelligence, but these models are different. For image recognition models, machine learning models, natural language models, like that there will be. Let's go to his summary here quickly. Okay. Yesterday we've seen, Purnima, there are machine learning models. They work on structured data for used for prediction, classification, this or that, clustering, grouping data, recommending movies, etc. There are algorithms like linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, k-means clustering, alternate least. There are many, depending on the need. Your data science and machine learning engineers will be using. You'll be supporting them. You'll be giving a good data for them. You may be, when I say, what does it mean by giving good data? You're already doing a data engineering, Nashira. So many of the data you have, like, categories. Suppose this is, what is that? The benefits, you have the job categories, right? Job categories in EHR, job categories, etc.
Yeah.
So job classifications, etc. If you have categories, but the machine don't understand the natural words. You need to convert into numbers. Suppose you say job classification, something is a technology, some business users like benefits, etc. You have 5 categories. For machine, you need to convert it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So machine only can see it as a numbers. Machine don't understand the natural text. Even it understand, it needs to be converted into numbers when it is reading, right? You need to use some libraries and convert it. That's what when I mean by you have data engineering for reporting. For humans it is different, but when you are working with machine learning engineers, when you are working with deep learning engineers, you need to prepare your data. Most of the data is in numbers, but some data you need to convert it to some numbers, some vectors, some embeddings, etc. You'll be hearing those words. A thumbs up. If you understood that point, Punima, what does it mean by preparing your data? Some columns may have uh, text, but you might have to convert into numbers. So that's what the preparing the data for data science. Their needs are different rather than your reporting needs. Okay. Next, deep learning models. You understood, you may be working with some deep learning engineers. They will be working on projects related, image, audio, video, that type of things. They will be using different models. They take data from you, like image data, audio data, video data. You need to organize them into some folders, some volumes, maybe some cleanup might be there, some deletions might be there, some augmentation may be there. You need to make it available securely under with governance, so that they will have access. Right people have access. So why do they need access, etc.? Using that data, they train some programs, deep learning programs, so that they create the models. Machine learning people create models using these algorithms. Deep learning people create the models using these algorithms, but ultimately that model is needed. That is what the sauce, that is what the recipe, that is what the recipe. Right, Subhashini, when you say your recipe for Colombo, not everyone knows it, right? You need to have that formula. But recipe itself is not curry, right? Recipe is a formula to make curry. Correct, Subhashini? Is that correct?
Yeah, Srini.
Exactly. So they use these techniques to develop the models and give it to the world. Then people take those models and fine tune it and use it. So, so deep learning models means that. Then the next is this one, right? Natural language. There is a machine understanding voice. Speech recognition is different. Speech recognition is one thing. Speech translation is big thing. So you have one language, you need to convert into another language. So that is where um, a natural language processing happens. Language translation, even the text to speech, text to text, language understanding. Further, they used to use some techniques called RNNs, recurrent neural networks. But RNNs are slow and not efficient. So Google released some techniques called transformer models. Transformer models. So a Google Brain team released transformer models. These, based on those transformer models, these companies like OpenAI and Grok, Anthropic, these companies started. They took this SaaS from Google. Google gave it to the world. Um, Even though these companies are dominating Google now, of course, Google is coming back, but the overall the industry is exploding. So transform models are mainly used in generative AI models. Now people are not calling the words natural language processing anymore, even though it is still used. But predominantly, you will hear the word Gen AI models, the LLMs, large language models. Large language means, Nasira, natural language, right? Large language. Language is natural language. Why they say large language means, oh, it is trained on the whole world. The data in the Wikipedia, data in the YouTube, data in the every damn data that is available on websites, etc. It is trained. It is trained on images. It trained on text. So, and they trained and they created the models called transformer models, like GPT, generative pre-trained. GPT means generative pre-trained. It's a pre-trained. No, sir. It's a pre-trained. GPT means generative pre-trained models. Chat GPT means chat generative pre-trained is using that, these models. So BET is another model. So these models are pre-trained. So again, it's a quantum race. The world is getting into AI and quantum fully. You need to be very curious to learn these things. So you don't have to be good in math, etc. Just to get to understand how these are working, how these can be used. So be a star, because this is the world. The whole world will be in this. Everywhere they will be used. Learn, you earn, building AI agent that work the best topics. So we asked this question yesterday. You answered this. So it's like a Google search. It's already existing data. Whereas you ask someone a question, they give the answer. They generate the answer from their mind. So that is what generative AI is all about. It's like a Google searching, ChatGPT generating. So let's touch a little bit. This is used in natural language processing. They used to use the techniques called recurrent neural networks. Recurrent neural network means you send the data, you get the data and pass it to another loop and get it, pass it to another loop, pass it to another loop, like repeatedly. But this technique is slow and training and huge data is very hard. So that's where people started going to transform models. Shiva, transform models. Transform model means it can transform text to image, image to text. Lot of things it can, but it's a based on natural language processing only. These transform models are very powerful. It's based on a big research, and these companies spend hundreds of $1 million or tens of millions of dollars and train using these techniques. You will not be learning these techniques. These are not easy. They takes hundreds of hours to learn. But I want to give it a little bit touch so that your curiosity addresses, so that it puts a foundation for you to work on really our role, which is developing Gen AI applications and Agentic AI application. Transform models. Welcome, Shiva. How are you doing today? You want to say hi to everyone? Okay. So transform models are trained on data, text, images, speech, structured data, some signals, etc. They're trained and got these foundation models. Then you use those models to adopt. You can ask questions, ChatGPT. You can identify a sentiment analysis, give it some text. It can understand sentiment, how it is. You can give a big book, you can extract summary out of it. You give an image, it can do a caption like this is hill, this is river, this is. It means it is not only recognizing image, it is also classifying. Hey, this is car, this is pedestrian, this is it's an image captioning. Object recognition is clearly recognizing these objects. Instruction following, it can follow instructions and do the things that is used for agentic AI. So these models are related to natural language. So you need to understand few terms before we even talk about this. Now, Sarah, look here. In the words when you type to ChatGPT, you type a word. I love AI. Can you give me some information? This is sentences you'll be typing. But for machine to understand, it need to convert into numbers. So how it does is first, it creates an array of these words. These words, like individual words, or sometimes it splits even a word. I love AI. These are called tokens. Tokens is nothing but an array of these words or sentences. Then these tokens, each token, so like the token is a king is a token, I is a token, love is a token, yeah is a token. How machine understand when you say yeah? So it is not converting to 1 and 0 like traditional programming. It converts into a vector. A vector is, suppose a king is there. For a king, it creates a series of numbers. 0.25, 1, 2, 8, like that, a series of probably around 768 numbers, 768, 1024, like that. It's a 2 to the power of something. It's a multiplication of like bits, 128 bits, like. So there are multiple, they are nothing but coordinates. Like coordinates like x is equal to 1, 2, x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, like 1, 2 is a coordinate. In three dimension, it is 1, 2, 3, or 3, 5, 6, three numbers, a three-dimensional coordinates. But in mathematics, this coordinate, a dot can be even n-dimensional, n-dimensional. So it can be 4, it can be 5, it can be. Imagine like a columns. Purnima, to understand for you, imagine them as a columns. Even in your database, you have a table, right? Table have columns, correct? Imagine all columns are numbers, like a student ID, their age, their income, their parents' income, where they live, zip code. Like that, they are. Don't you think those columns, that whole data, give the meaning for that particular row? Purnima, any comment on that?
No, Srini, it makes sense.
It makes sense, right? So for you, that columns giving a meaning for that row. For the machine, this is also looks like a row. Hey, 0.2. This row means it will understand what that mean, king. It's a very surprising how machine understand. It means, oh, king means a male. A king means, queen means a female. A king means a male. A king means they rule something. King means they go to the war to protect that country. King means this. So, Nasira, don't you think, hey, once if I say king, even in your mind, it means many things. It is not just king means one picture, correct?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Correct. It has many hidden things, right? Even like a president. Okay, president means he's the head of this one. He is elected by this. He has to fight because he lives for 4 years or 5 years. Then this one, he lives in White House. Like that, there is a bigger picture for that word. Do you agree with me, Nachara? Correct?
Yeah.
So that is what the meaning when he say why there are so many numbers. So those numbers represent that thing. Like that, these computer scientists have taken all the words in the language. A dictionary has words, right? Each word has its meaning. All those meanings they embedded into a vector. It's a vector, a series of numbers. But still it means for mathematical it is a point, so that point can be moving based on these numbers. So don't you think king and queen will be close? These dots will be close, similar things, like iPhone and a smartphone. If you say smartphone and iPhone, they they will live close to the place. So the meaning also in your mind, um, Shiva, if I say, or Bona, if I say king and queen, don't you think in your mind they have similar meanings except they are male and female? Bona, agree or not?
Yes, Srini.
You don't have to agree. But so a king lives in palace, queen lives in a palace. King, like a first lady and first president. We say first lady and president. Don't you think they have a lot of things common? So in your mind, it will be close. Like that, these embeddings
Yeah.
also, these points will be close. So after all these words is like a word cloud. For the machine, oh, these are all points in the space, in the space. But they will have many coordinates. These coordinates are just to give the meaning for the mission. Meaning for the mission. Okay. So this is a sentence means that tokens. The token by itself is just a text, but AI models needs numbers. And embedding is the vector of numbers that represents the token in a way computer can understand. The embeddings capture the meaning and the context, guys. Tokens with similar meaning have embeddings that are close to each other. Any question on this? People, I will ask you, or you need to have clarity on what is a sentence, what is a tokens? Token means still words only, but array. But embedding means for each token, there is an array of numbers. Array of numbers. Subhashini, any question on this before we go?
No, Srini, I could understand the
Right.
base. Yeah.
Sentence, tokens, and embeddings. Embedding. Please understand, these are array tokens, and each of the word has its own array. Its own array. Even simple word like a phone will have minimum 768 numbers. So that's how the machine understand. Just like that, a row, a data row for us. If I just give you employee ID, Subhashini, do you understand what if I just give you my employee ID is 123? Do you understand about me? No, right? If I just give you my social security number, you won't understand anything. But based on social security number, you can pull my name, last name, address, my credit score, a lot of things you can pull it. That is the real information. That all that information, the number itself is not the information. So for the machine, if you say phone, you don't understand what does it mean. It needs a lot of information. A phone means a technology phone. Sometimes toy phones also will be there, right? Is it a toy phone? Is it a really working phone? Is it a smartphone? Is it a this one? A lot of things are there. iPhone means that meanings. So all those are captured with these numbers. The only the machine can understand. Super. Okay. So as we talk about this transform models, guys, please pay attention. They use the word some ideas called positional encoding. When you have a sentence, so the goal is how machine understand this particular sentence. When you say "I love AI," so there is a concept called positional encoding. Positional encoding means, see, is I first? There is a difference, right? I love AI is different. AI love AI love or data is different, right? So AI at the end, I love AI is the third place, third position. If I say AI love data, AI is in first position. Don't you think AI itself has no meaning? But AI in what position has a meaning? Subhashini, yes or no? I love AI is different. AI love data is different. Correct?
Yeah, Srini.
So that's how the meaning, the position of the word is important. That is what is called positional encoding. Positional encoding. Next is attention. Attention. Attention means, see, I love AI, AI love data. This attention of AI with AI attention with AI attention with the data. Based on that, the meanings changes, correct? Suppose I say server crashed. Another is server prepared idli. The server got me a plate. Subhashini, again question to you. Server crashed, server got a plate. What are those two meanings for you?
Like it represents two different situations, Srini.
Correct.
Server crashed relates to the computer world, and the server
Exactly.
plate is
How do you
different.
know? The word is server only, right?
Yeah,
So based on what? Server got plate is different because of that got plate, right? I can even say server got crashed, right? It is even not server got. Server got crashed, server got plate. So don't you think the server attention with the other word has a meaning? Correct?
Srini.
That is what is called attention. Attention. Self-attention means self-attention means about the words, about those. These things are used in the transform models. Anyway, don't get scared. Hey, transform models use some techniques, mixing of sending that sentences and creating that those embeddings, creating that attention, Don't you think I told you the server got crashed, server got played? Is that attention of those words and passing it to these functions will give its meaning, and based on that meaning, you get that next server got played, and suppose I say, Subhashini, server got a plate and maybe your dish.
Water. Yeah.
Server got crashed and we got a call from the IT department, right? So the next word, suppose you say server got crashed. What? Rather, the Eiffel Tower is in Paris. Eiffel Tower is in Hyderabad. You won't get it. So the next word, it will start predicting it. So in the natural language, when you ask a question, it is actually predicting the next, what is coming next. So ChatGPT, you ask word, how is the weather? The next word, how is the weather? Where, right? Where? It will ask you. How it knows? It asks you where. How is the weather? It's a question. How is the weather in Dallas? If you say, will it say where? No. If you already given how is the weather in Denver, it will give you the value. How is the weather? Say where, it will ask. So the next word, it is doing a conversational. It comes from those inputs and pass to some other techniques, that neural network techniques. They pass it to attention further and do some mathematical things and they get the output. Don't worry about this. Okay, just to get a point. So anyway, so three things are needed definitely. Those words, hi, how are you? Those are all words. They all need to be in embeddings, right? Embeddings. And also, the position is important. Positions of the position means then first position, second position, third position, etc. Those positions needs to be mixed into that particular sentences. Those are called positional embeddings. Embeddings itself are the vectors. The text. See, when I say these higher, this is a word, this is a word, this is a word, this word. Each word will have embeddings. Embeddings means the vectors, right? They are numbers. For high itself, I showing you 3, but it could be 768 numbers. This itself is number. So this is an array. Okay. So you need to add the positional encoding also. Positional encoding means you need to put quoting of the position. So that is also important, position. Then the attention, guys. Attention, right? These particular words need to be added attention. Like server got crashed. So server need to be paid attention with the crashed. If you don't pay attention to crashed, the server meaning changes. Server got played. So server, that word server need to have attention to the plate. So a server got crashed. So that attention gives its meaning. So these particular techniques, they use mathematical techniques, give the attention. So attention again, those are numbers. Those are they are added, multiplied with these vectors using matrices. They will be, that's why it's a multiplied means matrix multiplication. As you are doing that, these numbers start getting enriched. They start getting the meaning. They start moving where the other meaning. Server got crashed and we got a call from this. Server got plate and our dish. The next meaning, what it should get, depending on those server got plate, server got this one. The positional encoding, attention. Imagine that is done in a high scale when you are giving your sentences. whatever you ask, the ChatGPT is bringing. That is, e- e- that is all done through these techniques. So behind the scenes. So when they train using these techniques and develop these models. And these models also, when they apply behind the scene, it uses these techniques to give you the answer. You give you the answer means it is predicting what is the next. But to predict what is next, Nasira, do you see such a small thing is used in a large scale? Those are the building blocks to make these particular models. Any comments, Nasira, on this? You're on mute. Purnima, any comment?
Yeah, that makes sense, sir. Actually, these are the critical things how the
Though they
things have
simple sound
transformed.
simple, right?
Yeah.
What is query key value in this slide, Srini?
Now you are going to mathematics. You see.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, never
Okay.
mind.
No, don't worry. Query key means they like see now at least it knows. Okay, after the paying attention, don't you think the server? It is talking about the server, etc. So those out of them, those words it checks: is it a query? Is it a key? Is it a value? What does it mean is, how are you is like a query, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Uh, mm, what is that? What are the places I can visit in Hyderabad? Right? Even though it is a question, but that Hyderabad has a key. Hyderabad will act as a key, correct?
Right.
It knows, hey, this is a city. Once it knows it's city, it knows it has it act like a key. So there is somewhere in the web, etc. Um, there is a lot of information about Hyderabad, right? What places
Yeah.
to visit. So it act like a key. It act like a key. Like you search in YouTube, you put a query, right? Some movie songs, right? It will throw us a lot of songs, right? Even spoofs, etc. Suppose you say Chikri Chikri song, you search, right? It gives Ram Charan, it gives some Nepali dancer, that thing, this. Blah. So it's a query, but it takes key out of it. Then ultimately it gets values, right? It values. So
Got it. So for every sentence that we do, it does both three combinations. It does the query results, it does the key results, and it does the value results.
correct. It assumes it as a key, it assumes as a key, it assumes as a value. Then it start refining it. It
Got
start refining it. Is it query? Is it key? Is it value? Suppose what if you give few places and ask where these places are available? Suppose you say Salarjung Museum, that thing, this thing. Where do you think these places are available? You may ask. It sounds like a query, but you are giving a values, correct?
Right.
So, like that, it uses this combination of query key values and increases this attention. But that's a good question. Not go much details. You got at least some sense, Purnima?
Didn't make sense.
Okay. So ultimately, it is enhancing, ultimately embedding, self-attention, query key, etc. So it sends into multiple layers. So it refines. It is like making a gold, Purnima, gold. I think you're excited about when I say gold, right? Gold is good. So it comes from these, either you dig it or rivers, etc. How they make it, they have to clean it, they have to send it somewhere, they have to heat it, they have to filter it, make a pure gold out of it, so you go and see YouTube, you have a lot of process, but ultimately you extract the meaning out of it, what I should give. That's why there is a lot of uh, the lot of refinement behind the scenes. That's why you are getting these correct outputs from these chat GPTs. Even though still they make mistakes, but they're getting very, very close. So they pass all these things into some mathematical shapes. So ultimately, for machine, These are all refined matrices, refined vectors, but machine knows what it does mean, what it does means. So again, so summary. So look here, you don't have to understand everything, guys. Manasa, don't get overwhelmed. You will not be doing this, so you will be only understand. This is what it does. So live what you love. You know, something, some quote is it is converted as a token. Token has IDs, and token embeddings will be there. They will be enhanced with the positional embedding, and then they are passed to they are passed to as inputs, as embeddings and position. They pass it to some encoder mechanism and finally decoder mechanism. Then they pass it to some functions, mathematical functions. Like that, it's a refined how you get gold out of it. When you ask a question, so ChatGPT is giving means behind the scene there will be a lot of things going on, guys. So, but ultimately, if you naturally see, it's a ultimately probability, guys. What is the most probable? If you have Paris is a city, assume you've done all the embeddings, refinement, self-attention, etc. You pass it to your large language model. You ultimately you get the probabilities. Hey, most likely it is France. Paris is in city, France, in not in Logan. So maybe some Paris will be there even in other countries. So, but what is the context? What you're talking about? Or most likely, when people say Paris, what is first? Most people are talking about Paris. Purnima, is it about France, Paris? People talk more in the world, or Paris in the somewhere in Netherlands or somewhere in Sri Lanka? Which one people mostly talk, right?
Yeah,
Purnima?
the Eiffel Tower. Yeah.
Exactly. Then, yeah, if you assume it's wrong, it's no, no. I want to talk about Sri Lanka, France in Sri Lanka. Okay. Oh, you're talking about France in Sri Lanka. Then it got the word Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is the key now, right? Correct. Sri Lanka is the key, and France is the key. Okay. Okay. Now, what do you want? I want to know the places in that. Oh, now it has Sri Lanka as the key. France is the so France in Sri Lanka is the key. Then it lists out the values. It lists out the values. So it lists out the places they need to visit. Now it won't list out the Eiffel Tower, etc. Purnima, are you getting it? It's a common sense, right? You're getting at least something, even though not every detail. Are you getting it? The points, query, key, values? Yes
It
or
all
no?
makes sense. Yeah, it is doing all permutations and combinations of the word,
Exactly,
making the
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. It's beautiful, guys. These are the wonderful things it has done. So that's why. So behind the scene, there will be a lot of things. These are the ones who does this. Chat GPT. Why do you think they pay even for some people $2 million per year? They do all these things. They understand, they refine these, and they pass it to these mathematical functions. They train these programs and fix the errors. They measure it, they test it. Oh, we're getting 10% error. Let's rerun it. Let's make it to 7% errors. Let's do this. And finally test it, roll out into the production. This model is good. New models are coming. All these things they do on the vision, they do on the text, they do on sounds, they do on this. These are the real AI deep learning engineers, deep learning those people. Whereas we take these models, what they developed, these models. Purnima, Narasimha, Shiva, Vinay, Charvi, please stay with me. Please follow me. These are wonderful things. We take these models now, they spend millions of dollars on it to even the train. They use GPUs, they use what do you call it? They use all the computing power, a lot of data, a lot of testing. They finally release these particular models. That's why they are called foundation models. Foundation models. Hey, take these models, and you develop the applications that is used for the in the country. Use agentic AI applications. Now, DeepSeek, okay, we developed these models. We changed these techniques a little bit. We used this way. We used this way. These are all techniques. These are not just mathematics. Mathematics is only one part. So even if you give you a recipe, Purnima, someone give you a recipe, you cannot make exactly like they did it. Correct? There are some additional techniques, some intuitive techniques, how you add salt, how you add this one. They say, hey, add some um, sour, chintapandu. But how you add, how much you add, that is intuitively. You don't measure it. You just throw some salt. You just throw some this one. So a lot of intuition also there. So like that, even these model training, even though these are based on software, what is that? Transformer techniques, as they do it, they fine tune certain things. Well, probably we can do this way. This is all empirical way of doing, not pure theory. Empirical means practically as they're doing it, they refine it. They refine it. Even Goldsmith and who make even the um, jewelry. There are a lot of techniques. Everyone makes jewelry, but some people make fine jewelry. Some people make amazing experience, right? All these things finally brings these models. That's why these models will be continuously coming and getting refined by the Meta. Meta spent $2 billion, $3 billion. OpenAI spent $1 billion to develop these models. DeepSeek said they did it in only $10 million. So and now a lot of models are coming. Any questions on this? Any comments so far? Nasira, from how we got into this world, how we got into this world. Nasira, any comments?
Yeah, it's clear, sir. Actually, the key concepts, we have similar concepts in SAP language also, the web, right? So it's actually very similar. Actually, how key is used and then the values, right? That's how it
Exactly.
works.
Amazing. Very good. Subhash, any comments? I think you like the story of Colombo, I think, recipe. You understood it. Okay, any comments? Subhash?
Yeah, I could understand all the basics which you were explaining, Srini. It is really helpful.
Beautiful. I'm not making you expert, guys. You need to have high level understanding. Oh, okay, man, this sounds very interesting. How they did it, etc., etc. Punima, comments so far. How we got here?
No, Shin, everything makes sense now.
Is it interesting?
Yeah, it is quite interesting. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Manasa, questions, comments. Vinay,
I'm good, Srini.
Charvi, questions, comments. Pay attention, guys. This is the whole world is moving because of this. Trust me, there is no interesting and high valuable thing than this stuff in the world. You'll have a lot of time to watch YouTube, etc. But pay attention, guys. We'll be done in another 30 minutes. Okay, guys. Okay, now we know we have the brain LLM. But nowadays, they are training. LLM is large language models, like you train in the whole world. But interestingly, these can be used for now as an application. ChatGPT is an application using LLM. So it has LLM. This is ChatGPT. You're asking. It's giving you. It's asking. You're giving you. Now you can, in your company, you want to deploy this application. Okay, it means you're writing a program, you're calling this, you develop a front end like ChatGPT, put in a secure environment, make sure who is logging in, who is asking the questions, make sure it has your company knowledge also. So Purnima, these LLMs, when it comes, it understands the language, it try to give this. So it doesn't store anything. It predicts it, generating it. Next word. It is not that it stores. Oh, Paris is in France, like that. It doesn't store like that. Paris is in. Okay, most likely everyone, 90% people, Paris means this. That information it will have. Then Paris is, Paris is in Sri Lanka. I want to Paris of Sri Lanka. oh, then it won't recognize it won't list out in its database all the places. Of course, it will have link to web search also. It can extract some information also. That's why when you ask ChatGPT, it said, I'm searching web also. The search information also will be there. But most of this language, it's the generating it. Oh, okay, a server got plate and got dish and so like that. It start predicting it based on that word cloud space. Super. So now in your company, if you want to use, but this may not have your company information, right, Charvi? So they will augment it with retrieval augment generate. It look up to specific knowledge base. It is not adding the knowledge, but it is taking this as a context and asking again, we're asking this question because this guy has intelligence. So your question, mixing, augmenting with your company knowledge so that it will act like a context for this brain, so that it will give you better information. So this RAG is not additional information to retrieve, additional information to retrieve the context and augment it so that this will give the information. This is ultimately is the one which gives the information. So question and RAG information, this gives a good context, a company specific information you're asking. Okay, this will give the information. This is how the application. To develop these applications, now think like a technology guy. You are understand you are developing an enterprise applications, Gen AI applications. You need to know where you are doing. Are you doing in SAP? Are you doing in Databricks? Purnima, are you doing in your Oracle environment? You need to know that very clearly. Next, you need to know where is this particular model. When you say where is this model means every model will have address. Just like URL endpoint will be there. Every model. Maybe your company has 10 models, cloud models, GPT models, these models, that models. That will have URLs. They may not allow to use ChatGPT open URL. That URL should be in your company. So security is very important. So when you are developing Subhashini, you need to understand the security. This model where I'm using, because otherwise you'll be sending information to ChatGPT. Your company valuable information will go there. So security is very important. So your IT knowledge, your SAP knowledge, all your experience is useful to the Gen AI. Don't think Gen AI means a new avatar. You are exactly still your experience of all is very useful. So you'll be knowing what is the URL of this in the company. Do you have access to that or not? It is important. Then you may be interacting with some people to develop the front end, because ultimately you need to ask the question. The front end, you'll be working with UX team. Then the UX team will give you the UI. That UI, you will develop a program, a Python program, a main program, which should call this. So you should have a calling function. But before you call it, you need to have a RAG, retrieval augmented generation. But where you retrieve, where you store this information, this knowledge base, you need to be stored somewhere, right, Purnima? So these are the company knowledge, PDF files, text files related. It is not simply a text, because again, searching text takes time. That's why they converted into embeddings, etc. To store this information, there came new databases called vector databases. Vector database. Purnima, you heard that word at least, vector database? Vector database?
I haven't heard.
At least you haven't heard. If you haven't heard, okay, here now. Now you know you have a relational databases, you know, right? You are the managing. But you heard at least NoSQL databases, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
That you know. Now there is another database. Of course, you also heard graph database, right? You heard at least graph
Oh,
graph database, where
no.
things are stored
Okay.
as a graphs.
Okay.
And now there is another database called a vector database, where vectors are stored, data vectors, embeddings are stored. Anyway, now come to the next. Come to the next. Next level of Gen AI is agentic AI. What Gen AI is mainly gives you information. You ask the question, it gives the information, it gives the summary, it text classification. It asks you, you give a big book, it summarizes, summarizations, retrieval of the information. It's all information, information, information. It gives. But there is a new development that is coming. It is shaking the world. It is agentic AI. Agentic AI. It means agentic AI, it not only understand, it does the tasks. It does the work. It does the work. When you say it does the work, I'm not talking about robotics. It does the work, software work. Narsira, what is the software work? It's ultimately creating the records, retrieving the records, updating the records, deleting the records, CRUD operations, ultimately. Even though we do some batch reports, that is a report aspects, but most of your SAP, your HR operations, you're expert in SAP, HR, you hire a person, it's a create record. You give a promotion, it's an update record, right? You retrieve, you want to say what is this information your user is pulling it, they're retrieving it. Our operations. You don't generally delete, uh, but something is somebody for CCPA or GDPR, someone asked deleting the records, not in HR, but in the consumer. Hey, we don't want, I don't want, you can call Nike, say, I don't want my information in your systems. They might have to delete CRUD operations. Or sometimes you archive it instead of fully deleting it, you mark it as a delete, but still it's a delete operation for me. So when it is say agent is doing the work, software work, you're mostly doing CRUD operations and sending some emails to them, or going and getting our operation but presenting it in a pleasant way, proper prompt. Nasir, any comments, any question on that? I want to have simple understanding.
Yeah. Yeah. This is doing everything, what traditional human being does. I mean, most of the things, right? Yeah.
Correct. Excellent. Earlier also, it does CRUD operation, but you need to really give in a form and press submit, etc. But good thing is, agent now naturally can give, hey, I have a person, Purnima, she's joining here, her number is this one, her SSN is this, her joining date is this, like that you're typing it, giving it to agent, right? So it is understanding using natural artificial intelligence. It is understanding. You don't need to fill the form. You can do a conversation with your software. You cannot do that now, right? You are filling the forms. It is filling forms. You do say, oh, if this person, you do basic logic. But as you are doing a conversation, it creates then okay, hey, Nishara, I know I created this. Do you want me to enroll this person into benefits? No, wait. I need to. We need to get some information from her. Don't enroll now. We don't have the beneficiaries information. I'll give it to you, like that. Okay, I'll wait. Then it might remind you after 2 days. Nishara, hey, 3 days passed, Nishana, we haven't got this information. It's a reminder to you. 3 days back, it created a Purnima record, but we haven't given benefits. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm going to give you in the afternoon, something like that. Do you see the value, Nishana? Now, our current systems don't do that. You agree with me?
Yeah. I agree with you totally. Yeah.
Yeah, Purnima, everyone, Manasa, are you following me? Are you following me? I'm only giving you a hints to it. There is a more to it. There is a lot of flexibility in it. I want to highlight that. Oh, when you're dealing with AI agent, it is not like current traditional software. Traditional software is rigid. It just sits. But it does great work. It does great work. It did. It's working great. Now you have more flexibility. More flexibility. You may not change the existing systems a lot, but when you are building new systems or new possibilities are opening up, new possibilities are opening up, or lot of things, even though system does a lot of things, still we do a lot of things manually outside it. E- so a lot of work is there. Those things, if it is high valuable things, you can able to automate it flexibly. You can able to, or even machine can understand something is missing. Humans may forget it. Reminding things, etc., etc. So all those things can be done with this agent, because agent will not sleep. It will be doing searching. It may be identifying some patterns. We did. I think last time you asked me to hire, I think I made a mistake. Oh, really? You made a mistake? I didn't know. Let me go and see, like that. So HR, IT support, HR operations, customer support, you see fraud detection, software development, finance, healthcare, legal. So many things. So many things you can upgrade it, automate it, automate it. Additionally, bring efficiency to it. That is the goal, guys. After all, please, okay. So your agentic AI application is nothing but as a software only. But they use LLMs or SLMs, small language model. Subhashini, Nasira. So small language model means is sometimes instead of training this whole model in the whole world, if you train this model on HR related things, customer support related things, it will have a lot of knowledge, is specialized knowledge, and it is a small language model. It doesn't need so much training. It doesn't need, it's like a specialist. So they know only one thing. They know only one thing. He's like a plumber. Plumber knows a lot about only plumbing. So then SLM used as a specialized language model, just about oil and natural gas, financial knowledge, lot of telecom knowledge, all this domain knowledge. So they are small language models, and they do better. They are efficient, but still that whatever it is, a LLM or SLM, it's nothing but a model. It's a conversational model, but it needs again some additional knowledge. RAG, RAG. It gives the more context to it, more context. How recently you got that information? It means your architecture will be, you need LLM endpoints, you need a vector databases, and the ability to do the CRUD operations. APIs calling, APIs calling, APIs calling. But yeah, you can call them, but based on the context, if you are able to flexibly call, some flexibility instead of tight coupling, some loose coupling is helpful. Nasira, that's what we talked yesterday, the other day also. That's where the MCP came into.
MCP comes in. Yeah.
MCP is sometimes even this and MCP looks the same, but a little bit of loose coupling. That's what it is. So that these people will be developing these MCPs. The ecosystem is becoming more flexible. It is like, even you see, if you go to a plumbing shop or electrical bulb, but that is standardized. You take any bulb, it fits into your holder, right? They standardize it. You don't need to get the same bulb that you have used earlier, right? So it's standardized. It's flexible. It will give you flexible. If you buy a bulb, that bulb has only that fitting, then it's a tight integration. That's what it does mean by the flexibility is all about. Awesome. Okay. So your software can be like this. So your agent as a folder, you'll be still writing a Python programming, etc. We'll see in the coming classes. That MCP resource, flexible information, it means what APIs it can call, what functions are available. All that information may be here. It may have some requirements. Hey, you are a sales agent. You focus on sales related things. You will be given customer orders and few other shipping related information, and don't leak any security informations. Don't retrieve any PIA information, and don't send any emails unless we approve it. Something like that. You can give a requirement so that your agent understand it, and you need to uh, package it into a Docker files for deployments, etc. These are software only. You need to have proper tests, unit tests, and integration tests. You need to know. You need to work with infrastructure team to deploy it into or UAT and production. So AML files and Terraform files and PubSub files. And if people, you leave the company, somebody came, and they need to have some documentation, run books, etc., etc. Your Agentic AI application follows the software best practices, guys. So this is a high level understanding of this one. Okay. So Agentic AI ultimately summarize, guys. Agentic AI is nothing but a software 2.0. Don't think that it is something like this. Everyone, I want Subhash. Are you getting this point? Agentic AI is a upgrade to the software. So the core Agentic AI system is nothing but a computational entity, software you are developing, designed. It's perceive its environment to know what it is, and make informed decisions based on the perceptions and set predefined goals. Generate this, do this, do this. It has a goals and execute actions to achieve those goals autonomously. Autonomously means it has some flexibility. It has flexibility, right? But again, it has to be work efficiently. It should how many times it is making mistakes. All these things you need to test and do this. Unlike traditional software, which follows a rigid step-by-step instruction, agents exhibits a degrees of flexibility and initiative. So Agentic AI is software 2.0, guys. Another 10 minutes. Agentic AI is software 2.0. How does it sound? Nasara, am I bringing more hype, or am I bring it right perspective?
Yeah, it's the right perspective, sir. And I think we have so much to learn, actually. But yeah, it's right perspective.
Exactly. It's only beginning. Trust me. It's only beginning. This year, 95% of projects failed. It's not because of any problem, because of lack of knowledge, because lack of integration testing. And the testing they do, they are not getting good results. Not because of any problem with software. The methodologies haven't developed yet. People don't have skill set. People are not confident to deploy into production. See, it all looks good, but it's all looks good. But ultimately, it should work, right? Ultimately, it should work. It should give a results. Theoretically, practically, it's a new techniques, new way of doing it. But definitely, this is desirable. Companies want to use this, but teams are not ready. That's where there is a lot of learning. So people realize we cannot rush on this. We need to be more steady. That's where they are asking everyone to understand this, learn these things, involve in these projects, do the development. Even if they failed, last year 95% projects failed. Nesara. This is not my statement. MIT. Go and search MIT Gen AI project 95%. You will get a big report, right? But still, it's like a child learning, a child learning bicycle. They fall, etc. Companies are investing. If they don't fail, tomorrow also they will fail. Now 95%. This year it's expected 60% of 40% will be successful. Let me use that word. That's a good sign. In 2 years, say 50%, 60%. They said a decade of agentic AI. Now they think. So slowly you'll get the maturity curve. Some people in 5 years, they even 50% of projects successful, they feel there's a lot of successful. It's a kind of investment. So, but that is the direction it is going everywhere. And more new use cases will be coming. Smart cities, Agentic AI software in smart cities. agentic AI in space application. These are new. I'm not talking about upgrading existing guys. So agentic AI is often drones, robotics, space-related stuff, agentic AI applications to do supply chain automations, a lot of integrations, agentic AI with SAP and Databricks integrations. So a lot of things, guys, new use cases will be coming. It is not always the old use cases. But I want you to involve step by step. 2026 is going to be great for agentic AI. Just think it as a beginning. You are not late, even though you are hearing this. Okay? Okay, guys, another 5 minutes. We're closing up. So let's quickly look the AI architecture, guys. Layers of the architecture. Now you come to the common sense. This is not a magic. This is a, of course, it's magical, but it's a very useful stuff. But again, it will have 80% of your infrastructure approach. So there will be an application layer. Front end is needed, right? Purnima Narasimha? Like it's a conversational, mostly conversational. And it needs a data platform, some API management layer. It need to be a, what is that, governance, proper governance, like Databricks, maybe Databricks or Snowflake or AWS cloud, certain where you will be developing, right? And it needs to have LLM ops and prompt engineering layer. So though you are calling those models, what data it is giving, there should be a logging mechanism, right? What it did, at least there should be meta LLM operations. It's not like a DevOps, a data ops, AI ops, now LLM ops. So you may not be dealing, but you'll be interacting with LLM ops guys. In the model layer, you are calling model. Don't you think that models, if new models comes, you need to adapt those models? Or you're testing with two models, cloud model and this model. One model is working, you need to do A/B testing. This model, I got 90% of success rates. This model, I'm only getting 80%. Let me switch this. In the production, it's working suddenly, but somehow, some reason, you need to roll back to old model. So you need to interact with the model management layer, right? Ultimately, infrastructure, they need to be under the cloud infrastructure, network security, all these things. So when you are in a project, you need to be a little bit of aware of these architecture aspects. Nasira, it is similar to your understanding, right?
Yeah, great.
Exactly.
Agree with you totally. Yeah.
So see it simplified. Don't make it complicated, guys. Already this is complicated. So if you see, let me go to specific to the RAG architecture. RAG architecture, as I told you, there will be a question. That question has to be embedded, enhanced with your company information. This is what, Purnima, look here, vector database. Now go and Google everything. That is a what is that? For you, some assignment. Just do, or even ChatGPT, what is a vector database? Vector data, database. Hope you can see this. It will give you. A vector database stores indexes and such high dimensional data represented as vector, which is a numerical arrays. All these things, Even you can ask in AI mode. It will give you. Your Google AI model is improved a lot with Gemini. Why they are becoming famous? Do some work. It is thinking. It is a vector database are becoming famous primarily due to explosion of generative AI applications. Purnima, are you getting this? The need for manage massive volumes of unstructured data more intelligently, efficiently. Generative AI, retrieval augment, need for semantic search. You need this. Are they used in agentic? Are they used in agentic AI applications? Look here, guys. Yes, vector database are critical and foundational component of most agentic AI applications for memory, long-term memory, and knowledge enhancing, augmenting, etc. Let me wrap it up, guys. So
that means Databricks also using this, right? Vector database, right? I know SQL is okay, but still, it's going to use, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Databricks platform. They will have their own vector database, or you can use some other vector database also in it. So it's a part of ecosystem. Even SAP might be using it actually. SAP
Right.
BDC. Yeah. Good question. Good question. Guys, so vector database. So vector database, they put the content, they put in chunks. They put in chunks. They just don't dump the PDFs. They need to put it as a vectors, like embeddings. So your question will be enhanced with contextual data, then again pass it to the LLM, then you get the right answers, guys. Again, one more. This is here. This is assume user put a query. Query will be augmented with the use the word seek a context. But where you got this context, guys? You got from this embedding vector database. Please look here. But how you got the information into vector database, Purnima? Vector database, suppose now you're a database person, you keep vector database also into your portfolio. Your job will be, your compensation will increase. You say, I'm a vector database manager also. It is nothing but simple database, stores the vectors. But how you got the data into this? See here. This is the company documents. They convert using embedding models. To convert documents into embedding models, they will use some software libraries, embedding softwares. They convert into embeddings, chunks into store it. That's it. Your job is work with developers, develop this, enhance this, support this. This is good. Then it will give the embeddings, and this query will be enhanced with augmenting. So you have relevant context now. Please see how beautiful it is. So this is there. Now this has a context. If this context is passed to LLM, now you get a good response. That is the goal, guys. User is asking the question, enhance with the RAG, but how you got it? You got it through a vector database. But how you got into vector database? You need to load the data frequently or weekly or whenever the company policies changes, etc. Let me move forward, guys. Changing. Even Databricks also unified platform for build agents, guys. For that, you need to prepare the data, build agents, evaluate agents. There is a framework, evaluate agents. You build an agent, but you need to test it. How about using Nasara? How about using on another agent which even tests another agent? You developed an agent, you are testing it, but don't test manually. Assume there's somebody developed an agent which judge your agent. Beautiful. See, there is automation. Yeah. Automation of automation. That is a beautiful. LLM judges, peer labeling, tracing, and deploy agents, agent serving, etc., lineage, etc., and govern these agents. So we follow those framework, guys. So welcome to the world of Agentic AI. Become a star. So let's work together, be a star, learn and earn, building AI agent that work best. So that is the goal for our journey. Next week we will not be meeting. I'll tell when is the next class. But how does it sound, guys? We are wrapping up in 1 minute. Quick, Purim, I want to hear from you. Nasira, I want to hear from you. How does this sound, our journey?
Pretty good starts in it. It is a little bit overwhelming in the last about all the vectorization and stuff, but I think as we go along, we'll probably be comfortable understanding the whole picture.
Absolutely. We in fact appreciate yourself. We did a lot in just 2 classes actually, but I want to maintain this phase because this is important because it's a foundation. We cannot just, a lot of people spend actually, trust me, 10 days to reach this knowledge. I really appreciate all of you. Nasira, comments?
Yes, sir. I was actually watching, some of these, videos related to these topics, not now, couple of months ago. Some were very abstract, right? But this class, especially today's class, even yesterday's class, it added more clarity, what I was trying to watch and what I was trying to learn, sir. So this is really great, actually. I agree with you. We learned, like a 5-6 class, maybe 3-4 classes worth, in 2 days, actually, I would say.
Super. Now you put a very good point, Nasira. Now you know how to connect these dots. Now you start understanding anything. You go and steal videos, study that. Everything now it opens up now. Now you have a recipe, to even understand new things. Purnima, it is not just how much you understand. Now what you learn will help you to learn further better. Purnima, that is the point.
Aggression.
Charvi, Bona, Manasa, Shiva, Vijay Kumar, Subhashini. We are leaving. Any quick comments? Subhashini.
Yeah, I'm good. Srini. Thank you so much for
Subhashini,
the.
how
Yeah,
does it
she
sound?
has a lot of information to process, but yeah, but the basics is really, really like it's very important, and I could grab that in these two classes, like lot of basic information.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is what it is. Summary is all about different models. If you take one thing to your home, this is what I want you to take. What is that? Is this? There are models. These are different. Machine learning models are different. Deep learning models are different. Natural language models are different. This is where now world is getting shaken. Now these applications is Gen AI and Agentic AI. Awesome, guys. Wonderful. Appreciate you joining me. Next week, Thanksgiving break. You take break. I'll communicate when are the next classes. Enjoy your day. Thanks again. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you,
Bye.
Srini.
Wonderful. Take care of
Thank you,
your family.
everyone.
Spend time with your family. Stay there at home. Okay. Bye. Thank you.